Female members of parliament bring something different to the political landscape of Papua New Guinea. It's been proven in other democracies. Dr. Alphonse Gelu, the Register of OLIPAC, that is, the organic law on the integrity of political parties and candidates.
Women in leadership have made very big differences. Today, in which laws are made, in which policies are made, in those countries that have women as leaders. And it has been proven. Yes. It has been proven that that is what women can make. They can take something differently to the table, as what we are used to now.
Yeah.
And for us in Papua New Guinea, it's Papua New Guinea that we want to talk about. It is for a woman and for our country and our men and our communities to make that difference in terms of the choices they make. In fact, in this election, I think the number of our women will increase. In 2017, we had 167 women that contested.
Okay.
Many contested as independents. I know in this election, many will continue to contest as independents.
Yes.
But that must not be a factor that will affect your ability and your passion and the energy that you would put into campaigning to become a member of parliament. Because at the end of the day, we need the voice of a woman in the floor of parliament. This phrase that I always use, that the composition of the legislature must always reflect the composition of our society.
Populace. Yeah, of the people.
So if we have women and we don't have women in parliament, then something is wrong.
The playing field is not level.
It's just not there.
Wow.
To enable a woman to be represented.
Should we fail to get a female into the 11th House? Nominations? Is there something that OLIPAC would encourage?
Definitely. For us, we have a revised organic law that has been sitting in Parliament since 2014 and it has not been passed. In the revised organic law, we have a provision there about quota. The quota that for every number of endorsed candidates that the party endorses to contest, 10 to 20% of that must be women.
Yes.
10 to 20% must be women. So that is a way in which the political parties are now required by law. For their candidates, 10 to 20 must be women. So that is the way forward. But we are not giving women any special preference here. Political parties will endorse them, but they will go and contest just like the men, like everyone else, for their campaign and the polling and eventually the counting.
Yes.
The law has not been passed, so we are looking at the 11th Parliament to do that.
Okay.
Once that happens, then that particular provision becomes effective.
LPV, limited preferential voting system, would that, do you think, gives the females, the women, a better opportunity now than the first past the posting that we had years back?
Thank you. I think the voting system is now an issue as well, and I think I've come out publicly saying that we really need to promote women and even political parties, because
Yes.
my interest is the political parties. We need to change the voting system.
Yeah.
Because the limited preferential voting system would continue to produce results, as we've known from 2007, 2012, 2017.
Yeah. We started after 2002 with the LPV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is what's going to happen. The LPV comes under the family of voting systems called the majoritarian, because whoever wins must win with a majority.
Yes.
As we say, 50 plus 1.
I am now.
For the limited, for the first past the post system, is a simple plurality voting system. It's a simple. You win by a small, whatever margin, you'll be declared. But what we are proposing, and this is something that for us at the Registry of Political Parties, we've worked on this since 2014.
Okay.
We've looked at different voting systems around the world. And the voting system that for us, that we've come to that we prefer is what we call the proportional representation system.
Proportional representation system.
It's called a PR.
Okay.
Okay, it's a PR system. And the PR system, it basically gives you, it doesn't look at the number of seats you win. It looks at the number of support that a party gets.
Okay.
Because for us going to an election, we want to know which political party is the most preferred political party. How can we do that? We will look at the number of votes.
How do you with 49 political parties right now?
The number of votes that people have given to that particular political party, and we can work it out.
Yeah.
Ranking 1 to 49. You know, we can work it out on the number of votes that parties get from their candidates. And out of that, you know, it's only rational, that which party that is more popular should have more seats in parliament. How can a party that is not popular but wins its number of seats and its leader maneuvers around
and becomes prime minister? You
came from a party that is not popular. Why should the leader of that party become the prime minister? You see, under the current system, as we have under Section 63 of the Organic Law on the integrity of political parties and candidates, where the political party that has won the majority of seats will be invited by the head of state to elect its leader as the prime minister. What we are trying to do there under Section 63 is to promote that party that has won the majority of seats. That's under the LPB. But what I'm saying is that under the PR, we are not looking at the number of seats that a party wins. We are looking at the total number of support. So whoever becomes a prime minister will be from the party that has won the majority of votes.
It's reflected by the people's choice.
And then we'll say, okay, you won 40% or 60% of the total votes. So the number of seats that you'll get in parliament, 60%.
Wow.
But then if you look at the number of seats won, you will find that, we need 10 more. We've got 50 already, but we need 10 more based on the number of support, the percentage. So then it will be the party that will now look at this list. Now it's called the list system, L-I-S-T. In the list system, they rank number of people on the list. So in New Zealand, you see, this is one of the things about New Zealand. New Zealand is what we call the MMP, the multi-member proportional system. In New Zealand, they use both the first past the post system and the list system. So for New Zealand, any party that goes in to the election, and if the percentage of votes that that party receives and gives it the number of seats in parliament, but if they're still down by 5 seats, 5 people to fill these 5 seats, based on the total number of support that the party has got, then the party will look at this list system. Said, okay, this lawyer is a very good number 1 supporter of the party. He promotes the party. Let's give him a seat. This trade store owner is a great supporter of the party. Let's give him this. The rugby union player here is a great supporter. Let's give him that. This community health worker is a great supporter. So you'll find people that have not contested, been given this placing in parliament. They become members of parliament. They enjoy all the privileges as members of parliament. They are appointed ministers. They are appointed to be heads of committees. And, you know, you look at New Zealand. New Zealand, when it comes to...
Do you see this working in PNG, given what we've gone through and given what we have?
You know, there'll be a change. So like I said, from the system, they said, okay, there's 5. Let's get 2 men and 3 women. So that's the reason why you'll find there's more women sitting in parliament in New Zealand because of this. But it's not only that, women also contest. Like I remember very well the former Prime Minister, Ellen Clark, who was a member of an electorate in Auckland called Mount Albert. And Ellen Clark, during the election, I remember back in 2002, somewhere around that time, when I went with a friend to go and observe the election there. I was doing my PhD in the University of Auckland. And we found out that she was the only candidate. And she's the only candidate because they know her as a person, not as a woman. They know her as a person, as a leader. So how can you compete against someone that has done so much, not only for Mount Albert and Auckland, but for the country and also the international scene? So you can see that a woman who was in what they call a safe seat, was no one would dare contest against her. Because you will not win. She will win. Yes.
Wow. I mean, I hear you, Dr. Gelu. but there's a lot of awareness, education things.
Exactly.
Because New Zealand is a well-off country. Here we still in fact, when the LPV was introduced, we had trouble understanding it, fully comprehending it at start, and people now getting onto it. But it's an option that we can look at.
It is an option.